Hi, welcome to this video where I would show you how to add comments to your Next.js blog. Comments is a new feature that is now available on Wisp, right on top of your blog, to allow your readers to interact with you and for you to receive even more engagement from your readers and your existing platform. So this is one of the top requested features from our business owners and our hobbyist blogger to actually build engagement with their readers, and we have now shipped it with a lot of quality of life feature, like for instance email verification and email collection all together. And in this video I'll show you how the comments feature looks like from the user's perspective, and then how to add the comments to your Next.js blog using the Shadcn components and some of the components that we have built for you. Right, I'll show you the guide on where you can copy all the code so that you don't actually have to write any of the code for yourself. So let's take a look at the comment feature. So this is a demo on our minimalist blog template. This is an open source template that you can actually clone if you're looking to launch a blog, and it has the comments already built in for you if you're going to clone it right now. So I'm going to show you with this template what the comment feature looks like first. So at the end of the blog post, we have now see a new comment section where you can now add comments and display comments that you have previously received from your users. So I'm going to show you an example of how the entire flow looks like. Right, and there you go. That's how we post it. Okay, so when a comment is being posted, what happens is that we will actually send an email verification to the email listed so as to prevent spam from happening. Okay, so on the user's perspective, they will now see this email that comes from Wisp, and they can click on verify comment to actually post the comment to you. And now, as the site owner, you would also then receive an email that a new comment has now been posted, and you can now approve or reject it. So you can click on review comment, and it brings you to your comment dashboard. You can see which blog post it's being posted to, and you can approve or reject the comments over here. There you go. Okay, and only then you would then be able to see the new comment that is being posted on your blog. So now that you have seen like how it's being implemented, I'll show you how I implement it on my own blog itself. So I run a blog at git.sg, right? And right now I'm going to add the comment section at the bottom, similarly to the template. Okay, so what we would do is first up, I'm going to share with you the resource on how you can follow through today's video step by step. So we'll be using, let's head over to Wisp, click on documentation. Under the guide section, you'll now be able to see a new documentation called add comments to blog. Click on that and you'll be brought to this page where there's the step-by-step instructions as well as code that you can copy and paste from. So do take note that this is using the tech stack for Next.js plus Shadcn plus React hook form. If you're using a different tech stack, you might not be able to copy the code entirely, but you should still be able to reference the different components that's being used, right? Or if you like to swap out several libraries, for instance, you don't like Shadcn, you can swap that out. If you don't like React hook form, you can swap that out too. But for the purpose of this video, we will just use the default tech stacks over here that's available, and I would you can actually change the different components as you wish. There is going to be a new feature on using iframe to implement the comment section, which is going to be like a two-liner change on your website. So do look out for the next video where there is the launch of iframe, where you can actually just implement it with two-liner change on your website. So now coming back to the adding of comments, right? To set that up, you will need to log into your Wisp dashboard, right? And make sure you're in the right account. Once you're there, click on your profile image and go to account settings, right? and that's where you can head over to a comment settings, right? There's a few settings here. So the first thing you need to do is you need to turn on comments, right? And then you have the option to choose whether you want to allow commenters to include URLs in their comments, right? You turn this on if you want to know, what kind of pet project they are working on or which companies they represent. You turn this off if, let's say, you want to reduce, possibility of being spammed by people who just want a link back to their websites. Okay. So a new feature that's available soon is nested comment. Similarly to Reddit style or YCOM, comment feature where you can just reply to other people's comments. Right now, this thing does nothing just yet, right? Because the UI is not available, but it's already available on the endpoint. So if you like to customize it, you could already. The next thing is the review process. By default, we will be on manual review. That is, after the comment has been verified for email, you would receive an email to manually approve each and every comment. The other option available is auto approval, which is if you once the comment has been received with the email verification, it will be immediately approved and be on your website without you to manually intervene. Finally, there's an option for those of you who are would like to integrate this into your marketing tech stack and collect email and leads, right? You can turn this on to collect email addresses from the commenter, right? Because the email is only used for verification. If you didn't turn this on, you would not be able to receive a copy of the email. If you do turn this on, you would have to add in an opt-in message where this will be shown to the user, and they can understand that their email is being collected, so that they can they would know to opt in or not, right? And after that, click on Save Changes to make sure that our settings are updated. Okay, so that concludes this section over here. The next section is actually to install the required dependencies for this software. So right now I'm running my my blog on localhost. It's in the dev mode already, so you can see it's running. Okay. What we'll be doing is we'll now be installing the new dependencies, right? So these are the few things that we need to install. So Zod is a validation library. React Hook Form is a library for form management for React, so that you don't have to use, do a lot of set state and all. So Zod, this is an adapter for these two to work together. And TimeStack React Query just allows you to do query and mutation patterns easily. The next thing is that we are using Shadcn UI library a lot. So if you take a look at here, there are a lot of components that you can just copy and paste into your application without the need for you to code everything by yourself, right? And we'll be using a few components there. That is the library, alert, checkbox, form, input, text area, and toast. So to install all of them, you can just run this command over here. So for the short period of time, I think latest is broken for Shadcn. If you take a look at this, they'll tell you that something is broken over here. All you need to do is to change it to 2.1.8, right? So for the blog post, I'm just gonna leave it like this. Yes. Okay. So what this would do is that it will start installing new components in your library. So under your UI, you can now see things like alert, buttons, there's toast, and all of them. So if they will ask if you have several things present, just choose whether you want to overwrite them, right? If not, it will create. If not, it will not overwrite it and just create the new components that are new to your systems. Okay, so I have now installed all of these things. Coming back to my, let's clean this up a little bit. Okay, a little bit. Okay, so this will now add your components in. You can see over here you have the UI components, and actually you get a new hook on use hook as well. Okay, So make sure you need to you set up the toast hook by setting up the toaster component for under your layout file. Let's take a look at our layout file. Okay. So over here, I will need to add in my toaster component, but my layout right now is server rendered. So the best way to do this right now is actually to have a new provider, TSX, right? And then okay, then I will actually import toaster, and then okay, so what I have done is I have moved provider to use client. Okay, so over here is, sorry, I think this is component. Okay, this works. Okay, there's an error within the toaster. I think the hook is using a wrong format. You just need to fix it, right? This is, I think Shadcn is upgrading something, and some of the things are moved around and broken. So we got that fixed as well. Okay, so toaster is now available. Okay, through the providers, this component over here. Okay, so that's what this thing does. All right. The next thing is to install and configure the Wisp SDK. So if you are not already using Wisp, then you need to install this. If you are already using it, let's take a look at the version. You might need to upgrade it to 22 and above, right? So this is still using a really old version of Wisp. So upgrade it to 22 and above, right? Or you can just install the latest using this. Okay, so this will upgrade the client. Now, finally, you need a Wisp client. Let's take a look at the client under the lib. I now have this component over here. It's already configured, so I'm going to leave it as that. Next, here's 3 components that you need to implement for your command systems. Let's take a look at the first one, which is the command section. It's actually just a wrapper for the other 2 components. Okay, let's create one of this inside the components. Create new file. Okay, and I'm just gonna copy everything in here into, okay, you can see some of this are not implemented yet. So then we'll have the new one, which is command form. Scroll down, command form.tsx. So this is the form that is used to submit your new commands. Copy this over. It's pending. Sorry, this is disabled. Okay. And finally, the commands list. Command list.txt. Okay, so this is the list of the commands available there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart TS server just so that this is actually implemented. This is checked and linked. Okay, so this is done. All 3 components are in there, right? And now you just need to add the command section to your blog post. Let's take a look at that. Let's head over to our blog itself. So this is the blog post page, right? You can see that it's following the slugs localhost block and then my slug over here. So I'm going to come in here and add in my command section right before this. So command section slug. Okay, this works really well. And let's save, and immediately you can see that the comment section is now being added, right? So you might have to do certain things to adjust it to match your other layout, right? So I'm gonna change it slightly. Let me just add a div around here. I'm gonna go in here. The main reason is this one. I'm gonna do a class Next with pros large text. Actually, this is correct. Yeah. So cursor is really good at guessing like what are the classes that I need. And there you go. So now I have my comment section right now on here. Okay. And in fact, you can test it on localhost already. So let's take a look at what's here. Okay. So this is done, right? Let's test it on local. And at this blog. You can see, right? I have the option of signing up for latest update. Let's look at what happens when I check this. Okay, so now the comment is being posted. Let's take a look at the emails. So first up, you can see that the new, this is annoying, this way. Show. Okay, I can now verify my email. Okay, and that would actually allow me to approve this in my dashboard. There you go. To approve this, you can see that once I turn on email collection, I'll now have access to the commenter's email. Okay, and when you're back here, just do a refresh, and there you go. It's working perfectly. And that is how you implement comments on your blog post, right? Yes, if you are using React query, just make sure that you configure it, right? I think I was already using React query, so I don't need an additional configuration to get that working. Okay, and that is it. So I'll be posting the resources on the descriptions of the this video, so that you can actually click through and use them. If you are looking to have a no frills blog template, just simply head over to the Next.js template that we have here, right? Clone it, enable comments, and you would have it working without writing or copying any single line of code. All right. Thank you for watching this, and I hope to see you soon in the next video where I will show you how to implement this with the iframe feature.